So here we are in South El Monte, not Los Angeles, and we've got we've got all the Brown Supremacists and the open border activists. Here we are. This is the Public Safety Center. Hilda Solis here is promoting an event. Okay. So we go to ICE out of LA, huh? Let me see. What is it? Racist? Well, you came all this way with a sign. Racists aren't welcome in LA County. I say, so we start with the Brown Supremacists and the La Raza hatred. Why don't we start with that? So, but those racists can stay. So those racists can stay. The ones who say go back to Europe, the ones who say go back to Asia or go back to China. So it's okay for them to stay. Go back to Europe. This one right here. Get that racist out of LA. Start with this one right here. Este racista allí.
He's triggered already.
Right here.
He's triggered already. He just sees me.
Are you getting
Hey, I saw your car. Is that the car you bought?
You really need to start brushing your teeth.
Is that
Smile for me now. Oh, look at this. I have an emergency. This brown supremacist right here is attacking me. Thank you. Okay. Responsible use of cannabis, huh? So, are you pushing this on the youth or what? What is this? Hilda Solis is supporting pot use for youth now or what? I need the citizen guy to save me from the open border bigots. Okay. So, okay, all this stuff. Is Miss Solis going to be here?
Your friend Howie is here.
I know, he didn't tell me to go back to Europe yet. They said get the racist out of LA. Get this one out of LA right now. This guy tells me to go back to Europe because I'm white. That is racist. So when are you going to get this guy out of here?
Right, go back to
Smile.
Europe.
Okay, he's on record. It never ends. Let me see. Do you have little signs? What is it? I'm just showing up now.
Raul.
Couldn't make it? Okay, that's fine. He's on his way. And there are the deputies. Okay, so did you see the... Damn, what happened? Oh, gosh. Sure. But you got to get it back, of course. I'll wear it. Did you see what we did to Mr. Villanueva yesterday?
What did you do?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Oh, that was so much fun. This guy says plainly, I have to protect everybody. But wait a minute, illegals are killing citizens. So you're going to protect the criminals too? I was very confused about that.
What was the response to that?
So that's very offensive. And that's okay. Then I don't have a shirt. That's life.
Oh, there's one in my car.
If you'll get it, that's fine. So
I'll be right back.
wait a minute. Now, okay, Robert. Now he didn't go after you, huh? Okay. That's strange. Maybe if I was, say he sees you as a senior citizen, maybe. I don't know. I didn't say you were. Okay. I said he sees you. He sees you as one. I didn't say he was a heifer.
Was that infer?
I'm sorry. Where is he? Okay. Did you see this? They're like marketing like pot to kids out here. Let me see that. Okay. I gotta go back outside. Oh, free stuff. Yes.
It depends.
We might as well take advantage.
Door's open 7 days.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm paying for it. I might as well.
When they're in your...
Yeah. Oh, did you? So, okay. Supervised free transit for youth, huh? Okay.
I get like a 30%.
Okay, let's see. Okay, does it have anything about LGBT? I wonder if they have that too.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah, so by the time they get to him,
Isn't this terrible? It's come to this.
The guy you got to send to...
Teens have to be warned about HIV.
this guy's the man.
Jeez.
I'm the guy that goes with football.
Okay. So, oh my God.
I'm sorry to hear about
Okay.
the numbers, honestly.
Okay, smoking marijuana is worse. But don't you find this interesting? So they are clearly telling us marijuana is not a good substance, and yet we are seeing it. There's a push to make this legal throughout the county, throughout the state. Well, I guess that's the people who voted for it. I did not vote for it, so. Okay. Do you want to be a junior probation officer?
I don't.
Okay, I guess not. Well, if you don't want to do it, then I can't do it because you're younger than I. So.
So marijuana is better only for medical usage.
I agree with you. See, now I want to be really clear. I don't think people should be locked up for
Are we
years.
going to talk this topic?
They probably will, but we should also talk about. I'd like to have. I think it should be easier to get a CCW.
That or 6 p.m.
You know, I feel like police. We love our police, but when minutes count, seconds count, they're minutes away. I think we should have
Until
CCW.
6, right? It don't start
Are you allowed to have a CCW? We're working on it.
I don't see why not.
You should. I don't see why they would prevent that.
I feel like sometimes with these crazy brown supremacists
I know.
out here
Do you want to go
attacking
say hi to some of them, really?
Yeah, they're supposed to be bullhorning. I'm waiting for them to start bullhorning.
Okay.
It's kind of scary.
I want them to tell you to go back to Europe. and then you talk about you have a daughter who's of mixed heritage.
My family's from Canada, though.
I'm trying to put all my paperwork away. All right. Got it. I got it. Hey, Tall Bill.
Hey, Paul.
What's up? Con permiso. Excuse me. Absolutely. Separating children from their parents is illegal. Like Kate Steinle, who's been separated from her parents forever. So tell me, how would you like to bring Kate Steinle back to life so that she's no longer separated from her parents? You want to tell me how you want to do that?
Talk
No,
about
tell me
the
about that.
indigenous people that the massacred.
Okay, they don't
Talk
care.
about them.
So it's
Talk
only
about
certain
them.
parents
If you're gonna
separated
talk
from
about-
certain
if
children.
you're gonna talk about
So
killing
you're
children,
okay with Kate Steinle being murdered? You're okay with that? You were nodding your head when I mentioned Kate Steinle. You're okay that she's dead? You're okay that she was murdered by an illegal?
We're not okay with murder.
Are you?
We're not
Yes or
okay
no?
with murder.
Yes or
Not
no?
okay with the indigenous people that were
Okay.
murdered.
Kate
Hundreds of thousands of
Steinle
people,
was
indigenous,
murdered.
here before.
Who was here? Who murdered
Where are
him?
the bodies?
Tell me about those indigenous.
Where are the
Read the bodies. Read a book.
There should be 50 million bodies. all
Christopher
over.
Columbus never made it here.
Every time they start,
Are you? Wait a minute. Wait.
Mass graves.
Are you indigenous? Are you indigenous? You're not indigenous. You're wearing European-style shoes, European-style pants.
I am indigenous.
You're speaking a European-style language.
Yeah, it's a scar. It's a scar.
Okay. No, it's not.
Yeah.
That's a beard. I woke up
what
at
it
10 a.m. and forgot to shave.
Yeah.
That's what that is. But I'm going to ask you again. How would you like to reunite Kate Steinle, who was murdered by an illegal, and she is separated forever from her family?
What do you about?
What would
do
you like to
think
tell me
about
about
the
that?
Europeans that killed
They don't want to
indigenous
say
people.
anything.
Talk about it.
How about you?
What about
Tell me.
What about that
Would you
European-
like? How would you like to bring? Can you bring Ruben Morphine back to life? Or how about this gentleman? Robert Rosa's right here, separated from his family forever.
How about the border patrol that just killed 5 people?
No, they didn't.
the
5.
border patrol, they just found them, serial killer.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that. You're calling it a serial killing. That guy should be prosecuted. But tell me, is that just, so we shouldn't? So we shouldn't So we shouldn't support?
What about their
We shouldn't
families?
secure our borders.
You're asking me a question, I'm asking you.
And here's my answer: they shouldn't have broken into the country. Simple. You want to avoid?
They
Here's,
deserve to die. They deserve to die because they broke into the country. That's your stance.
hey, that's a risk they took.
This is a meeting of the globalists.
Oh,
Their
okay.
slogan is no borders, no wall, no USA.
But wait a minute. Do you have a door at your home? Do you have a door? Yes or no?
Chicano power.
Do you have? I didn't say Chicano power. Do you have a door?
I know what he's saying.
Do
He's
you
saying,
have a
No,
door?
bro.
You're against
Do
invaders.
you have a door?
Nobody invited the
Do
Europeans.
you
over
have
here,
a
bro.
door? I'll try this
Did
again.
the natives invite Europeans in? No,
Okay.
they didn't. Did the natives invite Europeans in?
Do you have a door?
No, they didn't.
Do you lock it?
Did
You have a door? Okay, so you don't have a
door?
Okay, so you don't have a door. Everybody, come on over to his house. All the refugees can come to house.
You guys can Your ancestors came to our.
Now, you guys
Your
don't-
What is it?
ancestors are from
Oh, I
Europe.
want change.
You guys
I want
came to
illegals
our-
deported.
You
That's a change.
Yeah, that's
You guys-
Yo quiero cambiar. Cambiar. Toda la gente lo quiere. So, but we'll try this again. How do you want? Is that your age or your IQ? Is that your age or your IQ? A middle finger is not going to bring Kate Steinle back. What about Kate Steinle? She's separated from her mom and dad forever. He gave me a middle finger. Were you flipping off the memory of Kate Steinle? Kate Steinle gets a middle finger. Is that what you're saying?
Their slogan is.
Do you want to? How do you want to reunite that family?
Confrontation.
How would you like to reunite Ruben Morphine, a 13-year-old boy murdered by another illegal alien? And what about that? Why will you not bring? What do you want to say about that?
Kicked out her
Don't
son.
you want to bring that family together?
Kicked out her son.
Why do you not want to bring that family together? Why is that an issue for you?
Is responsible.
Don't those families deserve to be stayed together? Don't those families deserve to be able to stay together? But you don't care about those. Notice how he turned the sign.
No, we can't.
Notice how he turned the sign. It doesn't have the thing about parents anymore. So, what do you want to do about Kate Steinle? Which one is this one? Is this DeAndre?
No, the deputy.
You don't have DeAndre?
You know what?
Everybody steals
Three
them.
DeAndre shirts. I have 0 right now.
Because people take them and they don't give them back.
So please return.
I didn't think about this, so I appreciate it.
I had
What do you think about indigenous people
3
getting
Kate Stanley.
massacred
They're
and
gone.
killed?
Of course.
What do you think about
them?
the
Where are the
indigenous
mass
people?
graves at now?
Oh no, I'm asking you a question.
Where are the mass
I'm
graves
asking
at?
you, what do you think
Where?
about it?
Where are the mass graves?
Okay, I'm asking you.
Where are the mass graves, Nellie? Where are all those indigenous people who got murdered?
I don't believe there was a mass killing like you claim there was.
There wasn't
No.
a mass
There
killing?
should be
There wasn't a
mass graves.
genocide?
You go through Russia, there's mass graves all over that place.
Okay, so-
where are the mass graves?
I know,
I'm
where are
asking you
they?
a question, so you're saying...
Are they native to this land? Are they?
I am native to this land. I was born here.
Everyone has come from somewhere else.
Yeah, tell me, where did your ancestors?
They didn't.
Your family's-
Where did your people emanate from?
Where did they come from? You tell me.
China.
That's part of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you found the Chinese junk ships in the Long Beach Harbor, for starters? So, did your ancestors spring out of the ground like plants? Tell me,
Mongoloid
where did they
walked
come
over
from?
through the Bering Strait,
Where did they
it was
come from
frozen
then?
over and
Your
populated
people,
the
whatever you call your people, migrated too. And you know what? They stole land.
They did?
Yep.
Wow.
So you need to give it back.
I thought they didn't have any mapped out territories.
I know. Wait a minute. And you know what they did? The Sioux would kill the Pawnee. And you want to talk about mass graves, which he's asking? You can find them in North Dakota and South Dakota. The tribes were massacring each other. Oh, yes, there are. Yes, there are. There are mass graves. You can go under any catacombs in France. People even visit them. Oh, yes, there are. Oh, yes, there are. Now, you know that ICE also deals with transnational gangs. They also deal with drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and human trafficking. You want to end that too?
They also deal with...
Yes or no? Do you want to end cracking down on sex trafficking? Yes or no?
Not paying a car ticket.
Yes or no?
People for not paying a car
Yes
ticket.
or no? Do you want to end arresting people who commit human trafficking?
Your shoes are untied.
I know, I'll take care of it. I don't want to lose my momentum.
Yeah, I know.
Car ticket, and then they...
This guy won't tell me how he wants to bring Kate Steinle back to her parents. Show us that sign right there. Separating children from their parents is illegal. Yeah, especially if it's an illegal who broke into this country and killed them. Notice how he doesn't want to look at me anymore, and he was not showing that sign for a greater period of time. I am fed up with them guilt tripping me about, oh, the poor children are separated from their moms and dads. Here's a hint. Come legally and come to one of the nine ports of entry in Mexico. So if you're from Guatemala, if you're from Honduras or El Salvador, there are 9 ports of entry where you can claim asylum. And it's safe. So why are these illegals crossing the border just about anywhere? If they're really refugees, why would they put their children in danger over thousands of miles? Tell me, can you answer that for me? Okay, I know what the problem is. How much were you paid to be here? So you're making a fool of yourself for free? All right, I tried.
My mind is so complex, bro. It's so much bigger than this.
I'm not seeing it.
It's so much bigger than this.
I'm not seeing it.
You're not seeing it?
I'm asking
I
you
know you're not seeing
questions.
it
I'm asking you questions like a gentleman, and you're failing to give me an answer.
Now we back up a little more next time. Where are the mass graves? What did you do with those people? You killed them.
Google Wounded Knee.
Why don't you Google it now for us?
Google Wounded Knee.
And did the knee?
That's information.
Now, I will concede, yes, there are mass graves, like in North Dakota and the South Dakota territories. You know what caused those? What created those? The other Indians massacring each other.
Sure.
Your indigenous people were killing other indigenous people. So what do you say to that?
Your ancestors were killing each other.
Oh, and they sacrificed each other to the sun god.
Your ancestors were killing women
in far lower numbers.
No, it's not true.
You know what it was? There were a lot of deaths, though.
Europeans are always kill each other.
Okay, that's human nature, dude.
nature, okay.
Human natures are killing human beings all the time. So why are you making it like a big?
You're the one that's saying that we
No, I
broke into
didn't.
You're not saying that you have a door that we broke in. No.
Yeah, so you don't have a door. You don't have a door?
Yes, I have a door.
Do you lock it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then you support building the wall along the southern border.
No, because
why
it's
not?
indigenous land.
Oh, I see. It's
indigenous
so
land. It's
all the
indigenous
refugees
land.
in the world.
Listen,
Hi,
indigenous
refugees.
land.
I want you to go to Nowie's house. He lives in Westminster, California.
all land
He lives on the
indigenous
tall
land?
street in
Refugees
Westminster.
are welcome here. Racists go back to Europe.
Isn't all land indigenous land?
Yeah, you're exactly. You're indigenous to Europe.
American, and I do not do that.
Okay, but you're.
Fire. Yes. Very serious. What are the goodies do we have here? Oh, I love pens. I'll take a few. Analysis? Why is it only in Spanish? Is there in English? Oh, is that the English? Okay.
It's double-sided.
Okay. Offering applied behavior analysis. Oh, okay.
Offer mental health services.
Got it. Okay. Are you like a private firm that you're contracted with the county?
Contract with the county, yes.
Okay, but you're a private firm.
Community agency contracted with
Okay,
the county.
got it. Okay. You're called Alma, right?
Yes, Alma Family Services.
Okay, which means soul.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Thank you.
Human movement.
Yeah, you know, as far as if I were to take a Amtrak train, you know,
Pencils are good. We love pencils. Thank you. Lapices. Lapices?
With the message to report graffiti.
Oh, absolutely. In Torrance, we have a really good program. In Torrance, I can report graffiti. It gets done the next day. They take care of it. That's good to hear. Good to see.
ladies first.
Okay. No.
We had a goat by the name of her.
So are we going in there?
Yeah. Town hall will hold that.
That seems kind of small.
Well, I don't think you can see the room from here.
Is it a large room?
There is a large room.
Okay.
Once we're ready.
Okay, that's fine. So these are my issues. I'm going to bring up the same stuff I said to Villanueva. I want shall issue for CCW. I want ICE not only in the jails, but I want the program restored. I think that the county should defy the state because it's unlawful for them to violate and contravene federal law. It is federal law. I tried to give Villanueva that constitution. He didn't want it. He said no, and then he tried to lecture me with different codes. Did you see how he tried to play the race card on me too?
Oh yeah, they always play the
Now he's running for sheriff for everybody except Trump supporters, I guess, or white people, or I don't know. That's very offensive, and Asians too, probably.
Excuse me, let me get some back
What
here.
the polls are saying?
Say it again.
Do you know what the polls are saying? Is it mad?
I think McDonnell's going to sweep because he's an incumbent. He has the record.
Serious. This guy's
He's a leftist. Yeah. This guy is an SJW.
Yeah.
Totally.
a former deputy sheriff.
Well, okay. It says all gender bathrooms. You see that?
Yeah, I went use it.
Which gender were you?
Whichever I decided.
Oh, that's right. It depends on what you feel. Okay.
That's right.
This is for mass resistance. I'm gonna look at this really quick. Hey, Rue. Hey, Rue. So I just want you to see they have all gender bathrooms now. I'm just absolutely astounded. Please, Lord. Oh, Lord. This is what it's coming to, folks. Oh, I think I know him. I know he's usually at he's always at the civilian commission meetings. They're gonna have the same staff, of course. Okay, so we've got Nuestro. Okay. Okay. Ooh, identity theft. Very. But nobody seems to connect the two. What is it? Is now? I don't think they should have let him in here. He's a threat to the public. Yeah. Okay. Did they make them go outside?
Outside, but he just wanted. Betty's
Oh.
inside, so I'm staying by Betty.
And Betty's inside, so I'm staying
Yeah,
inside.
Betty's inside, I'm staying inside.
That's right.
He just wants to explore the area.
Sure. It just makes sense though. Did you know that these 6 popular foods can... Is there an English version?
We have one here right now.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we get a lot of
Okay.
multicultural.
So, fried foods. What's... ¿Cómo se dice humada? Okay. Breads and rolls, pizza, birds, or what is it? Poultry, soup.
Yeah.
These,
Yeah, happens.
these are like the salty foods. So okay, they ran out of
No, and
English.
right now the phone calls. We're getting phone calls where there's
That's why.
I'm getting those. But
I got 2 today.
if you don't contact them, the cops are going to get you.
Yeah.
What did you get today?
One of those
IRS
scam
robocalls.
calls.
Oh, I know those are terrible.
But no one calls.
And they also have a food bank in Chinese.
Yeah, and also you never can identify the number.
Don't ever give them sensitive information over the phone. Ever.
Return the
Ever.
phone call.
Ever. Ever.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I get ones for Bank of America, Wells Fargo,
Wells Fargo rips people off too.
2 or 3 of them. They only want you to go on their site and fill out all your ground jump over.
This is actually a department brochure.
They're nuts.
Well, now I've been getting, if you have back pain calls.
Back brain?
Back,
I haven't gotten that one.
Now he doesn't want to come inside?
Oh, one of the things he said to me, so because I kept asking about the mass graves, when he pointed one out, oh yeah, you were there. He's like, well, we found these frozen bodies. I'm like, yeah, frozen.
That's why they're dead.
Yeah, I was like, frozen. I don't even know what he said.
yeah, but now they trick you by
And they're in Europe too.
Yeah, they do.
Even
I
that.
have never in my lifetime heard a story where they're doing like a construction site or an excavation where they find just 1,000 bodies. I've never heard that in this
Never.
country.
Neither have I.
Never heard of it. And believe me, with the way the media is, oh, they would love to make a thing out of that.
Absolutely. Indigenous land.
And then they just found, what was it, in Peru, where they found like sacrificed babies or something like that. It was like, yeah, I mean,
Sacrifice is the
yeah,
word.
no sacrifice. Yeah, they could tell they were
You know,
sacrificed.
if the Spaniards had not shown up, they would have wiped themselves out. That's what happened in Easter Island, I believe. There was something there. Some people were there, but I think they just wiped
I've
themselves
seen
out.
that movie. Oh yeah, they cut all the.
Yeah. See, they wait a minute, but wait. I thought the indigenous they treasured the environment and they safeguarded the environment.
Not till they get their false gods, then that's more important.
Interesting. You're talking about Speaking of false gods, yeah.
Yeah, because they were cutting the trees down to build those statues that they were worshiping. Are we going in? I think it was just this. That's the money shot. It was just this. It's not.
Oh no. Okay. See, there's a vetting process to get into this meeting. Extreme vetting. There's extreme vetting, Gary. Do you see this? Do you see this? There is extreme vetting. Okay?
Don't be surprised when police act like police.
Oh yeah, I know. A lot of papers.
Yeah, it's okay.
And okay. Of course. Books.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. All right, how are you? There's the multi-purpose room. Okay, this is a pretty big space. Look at that. How you doing? Did you see the Dia de los Muertos right there, Gary? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I don't. That's not America. I don't. You know, and it's okay for me to say that. That's not America.
Well, I did a video. I don't know if you saw it.
And I don't want to celebrate death. We're not a death culture. It's Day of the Dead. I don't like that. You know what? That's actually a pagan ritual. But the problem is it celebrates death. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I just did. I don't know if you saw it, where I was showing the pictures of the kids in the newspaper in these schools, how they're all a certain persuasion. Not,
Okay.
You know, persuasion, like, you know, in terms of their ethnicity. And then I showed the same city newspaper that they're having their first annual Moon Festival.
And a what moon
A
festival?
Moon Festival in Temple City, yeah.
Okay. Oh, said. I just want to. Okay. I'll just get out of the way. All right. I've also got no sanctuary state signs. Yes. I wish you had spoken to me. I had a lot of concerns. I was just really upset that we were shut out. This was at the there was the debate at the LAPD hall about 2 months ago. It wasn't our debate. So, well, it should be. You should absolutely have a debate, and we should all be able to attend it. Treats. Look at all this yum stuff. I want you to, and I want you to know, I want you all to know, you paid for it. So I'm going to eat this on your behalf, okay? Unless we didn't. All right, I'll be in and out, folks. Sorry. I know I cut off when I got a cookie.
When we get started, we have a Spanish interpreter here, Lucy Rivero. If she would like to make an announcement in Spanish, please.
Certainly. Buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Soy Lucy y voy a interpretar todo lo que va a pasar aquí hoy en español simultáneamente. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lucy, and I'm going to interpret everything that is said tonight simultaneously in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, if everybody would please take a seat. That's great. I think there's some extra seats over here on the side.
There's lots of extra seats over here. I'm gonna knock that stuff over. Sorry, folks, I'm looking for my signs.
I want to thank you all for coming this evening. We hope you all have had a chance to take a look at the resource foods and the tables outside as you came in. I'm Lael Rubin. I am one of the commissioners on the Civilian Oversight Commission. I want to especially thank the Office of Supervisor Louis Solis and the staff here of the San Gabriel Valley Service Center for hosting us. I want to also thank the residents of South El Monte for being a host community. As I said, my name is Lael Rubin. I'm one of the 9 commissioners on the Civilian Oversight Commission. I was originally appointed when the commission first started, so I have been with it since its inception. I'm happy to be joined tonight by one of my colleagues from the commission, Commissioner Casimiro Tolentino.
I've got my torrent signs, but let me see if I can find general ones.
He is the newest member of the commission. He's a retired administrative law judge for the state of California and was just appointed by the
I want him back.
supervisors in
Hit him
July.
back, just like I have to give you this one.
Commissioner Tolentino, if you'd like to say a few words, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to hear all your concerns this evening. I'm here to listen and to learn. Our mission as a commission is to facilitate accountability and transparency within the Sheriff's Department. And I'm here to listen to your concerns.
No, it's just a town hall.
Your feedback is really important to guide us in our work.
Thank you. We are also joined by LA County's Inspector General. Max Huntsman is all the way to my left at the end. We have the Executive Director of the Civilian Oversight Commission, Brian Williams. He's going to say a few words. We also have two members from South El Monte City Council who are here in the audience, and if there are any specific city issues that they can address, I'm sure they will, probably at the end of the evening, but I want to thank them for being here. We also have some members of the Sheriff's Department who are up here to my right, and we still look like we have a couple of empty spots, so hopefully people will filter in. For those of you not living in the immediate community, you know what the traffic was like this evening. It took me an hour and a half to get here, so I think people will kind of dribble in a little bit, but I always like to start meetings on time. Anyway, all the way to my right is Captain David Flores from Temple Sheriff Station. Next to him, skipping over the two empty seats, is Commander Ilir Morhan, if I pronounced that correctly. He is, I don't have a station that you're from on my own.
I'm not from the station. I work, I'm a commander over the custody division under Inmate Reception Center.
And finally, Captain Marjorie Jacobs is from the Pico Rivera Station. And if other members of the Sheriff's Department are able to get here and take their places, I will introduce them as well. As Commissioner Tolentino said, the town hall is an opportunity for us to hear from residents in the community, people who want to raise issues about the Sheriff's Department, about concerns that you have in your community that deal with issues related to the Sheriff's Department, or are issues of local concern that you would like to address. This is a smaller setting than our regular commission meetings, so you won't be limited by those of you who regularly come know that the commission limits comments to 2 minutes. We're not going to have any time limit, but I want to say, since there are many people here, depending on the numbers of people who wish to speak, we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to speak. So make your points and move on, but you won't be limited to the 2 minutes. Also, as you know, it's important to be respectful. This is a community center. This is a public location. Be respectful of others. Be respectful of others with divergent views, and address your comments appropriately without denigrating other people. As I said, we want to make this as informal as possible. There is a public microphone in the aisle up here. There are comment cards that we request that you fill out. You can get them from over at the table, and the reason is that the comment card will have your name, and then you can speak when your name is ultimately called.
I'll get photos. Give me a second.
Confuse me because that you're not sitting right in front of your
I don't know if my name's there.
They're backwards. It's backwards.
No, so, and I thought, well, somehow you don't look like Captain
Okay.
Haran Jacobs. So anyway, welcome. Thank you. So do we have the comment cards? Or the speaker cards, sorry. Oh, you know, how many speaker cards do we have? Okay. I want, as I said, I want to make sure everybody has sufficient time to speak, but if we could have some brief comments from the representatives of the Sheriff's Department who are up here, where you work and what issues you see that may be of interest to the community.
Hello everyone, my name is David Flores. I'm the captain of Temple Sheriff Station. Temple Sheriff Station serves 5 cities in a large unincorporated area. One of the cities that we're proud to serve is the city of South El Monte. It's very important that we have public trust, and so despite a difference of opinion, it may not be a difference of principle, I think we want the same thing, and that's public safety and a safer street. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Once again, my name is Jim. I am the commander of the South Patrol Division, which encompasses Carson Station, Lakewood Station, Norwalk Station, Cerritos, Lomita, and Pico Rivera. I know there's some folks here from Pico Rivera. We are very pleased that we're able to do this. This is a great opportunity to hear from the community. This is my second one. I also did one in Lakewood, and the one in Lakewood was fruitful, and we're hoping tonight we get to hear from all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Evelyn. I'm a commander for the Sheriff's Department. I work in the custody division, which encompasses our 7 jails throughout the county. And I'm here to answer any questions. I see some signs up there. I see everybody around, but anything to do with the custody division environment, I'm here to try to answer for you as best we can.
Thank you. Captain Jacobs.
Hi, good evening, Lieutenant Marjorie Jacobs. I'm the acting captain for the Pico Rivera Sheriff Station.
See, I just promoted you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my first town hall meeting. I'm excited to be here. Just got to Pico Rivera about 3 months ago. And we cover the unincorporated West Whittier area and the city of Pico Rivera. So I'm happy to be here and answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Great, thank you. For the people just coming in, there are some empty seats on this side. We want to make sure everybody has a place to sit. Okay. Brian, if you'd like to start with our speakers.
I want to give Rob a chance to introduce himself.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, a little late because of freeway traffic, but to join my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Rubin and Commissioner Tomkino, our newest commissioner, by the way. And we're listening and learn, and so that's why I'm here, and that's why we're all here. So thanks for coming.
Great. Okay, now we'll get to hear some speakers.
Thank you. As a caller now, will you please go to the middle aisle here, and I'll call 3 names at a time if you can line up and give your remarks. Start out with Bill Kezar, followed by Robin Hibbenson, followed by Betty Robinson.
ICE. This is for the enforcement of our immigration laws. The United States of America is a sovereign nation, and it will remain so. The illegal aliens, including anchor babies, have zero right to be in this country. Many American citizens have been killed by these unwanted and unwelcome invaders. The Iowa college student, the unfortunate Molly Tibbetts, is just one of many thousands of American citizens murdered by these people. It is well past the time for American laws to be respected and enforced. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Robin Hibbenson, followed by Betty Robinson, followed by Willis. I can't read the first name. John Willis.
I'm cutting him on. Oh, okay.
My name is Betty Robinson. I'm here to express my support for ICE and Sheriff McDonnell. First, I want to send out my best wishes for speedy and full recoveries for the 2 deputy sheriffs who were shot yesterday.
Yes.
The DOJ reports that 1 out of 5 individuals in federal prisons is an illegal alien. The DOJ, illegal alien crime statistics from the state of Texas alone over the past 17 years show that well over 500,000 offenses were committed, including 1,351 homicides. Former ICE Director Thomas Coleman has stated that 9 out of 10 illegal immigrants arrested have previous criminal records. AG Jeff Sessions has said, quote, "The illegal immigrant crime rate in this country should be 0. Every crime committed by an illegal alien is, by definition, a crime that should have been prevented.
Right.
It is an outrage that tens of thousands of Americans are dying every year because of the drugs and the violence brought over our borders illegally," unquote. The number of illegal alien border crossings has steadily increased. One of the main reasons is probably sanctuary policies. They attract illegal aliens and those policies are guilty of aiding and abetting criminals. I know there are some 800 crimes for which a criminal alien can be referred to ICE, but many criminal aliens released after 1 or more DUIs, which is not on the designated list, go on to commit more crimes, including murder. Since the Trust Act, local law enforcement does not enforce immigration laws. We need ICE to protect us from illegal alien criminals. ICE does so much more than only retrieving released criminal aliens. They also investigate crimes related to smuggling and trafficking of people, goods, drugs, arms, cultural artifacts, and cash. And they apprehend those criminals. ICE is also involved in counterterrorism measures and so much more. We need ICE to protect us from illegal alien criminals. Thank you.
Ms. Robinson, I want to thank you for mentioning the fact that there were 2 sheriff's deputies who were shot. My understanding is that one of them was released from the hospital.
Okay.
And was well enough to go home, and
Jeez.
we obviously have a lot of concern about their well-being, so thank you for mentioning that.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Robin Dickinson, followed by John Willis, followed by Ralph Russell.
My name is Robin Biston, and I am with the Remembrance Project, which honors American citizens killed by those illegally in our country. As a matter of fact, speaking of deputy sheriffs, I'm wearing the shirt of sheriff deputy up north that was killed by a man in our country illegally. I had 2 children. There is another sheriff deputy photo depiction that we have here, Johnny Josue Sanchez. We have actually been attending his court hearings. He came to the country illegally in 2012 and said that he was a minor. He was not a minor, and when that was discovered, he was just turned over onto our streets. He went forward to commit multiple crimes in Los Angeles. He was arrested for drug dealing. Senator Charles Grassley, 4 of the Americans killed were from his state of Iowa, so he got a full report from ICE. This man had even kicked a woman in the head 10 times. And I just have a question. How do we have criminals like this illegally in our country committing heinous crimes like this that are then released back onto our streets? For example, this same man, ironically, he had been arrested 6 days before he killed the 5 Americans. Why was he released back into our community? That's my question.
You know, I think that's a legitimate question. I think that's an issue particularly for the Justice Department and for the courts. That's not something that that the Commission readily has information and knowledge about, and I suspect the Sheriff's Department is in the same vein. That's really a question that you need to put to the criminal justice people and the courts in LA.
Okay, well, I would just then like to make the statement, we need our law enforcement in communication, working across departments. Thank you.
John Willison, followed by Ralph Razzo, followed by Greg Allen.
Yes, good evening. I would just like to thank you for letting us speak tonight, but I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Department. I know it's up to your officers, and as far as I'm concerned, the more the merrier. They could have ICE parading up and down my street all day long, sheriffs, I take my grandkids to the park. Yeah, sheriffs are driving by, great. We're all safe, everything's gonna be great. On the way out here tonight, I heard a statistic that 1 in 5 prisoners in the United States is actually here illegally. So we must have ICE communicate with you, right, sir? I mean, I don't know why this group thinks they should have a separate set of laws, that they just get kicked out where everyone else is held to account. But this group, for some reason, just can do whatever the heck they want. I don't understand it. I'm going to speak to some gentlemen out here that are against ICE out there. And the only thing I can get from them is they don't need to follow our laws because they were here first or something. And I explained to them, well, every people that are continuing to cause more lawlessness. I want to be safe. I want my kids to be safe. I want my grandkids to be safe. More ICE, more sheriffs. Please, thank you so much for all your hard work, gentlemen and ladies.
Ralph Russell, followed by Greg.
Hello, I'm Ralph Russell.
Go ahead.
Ralph Russell, I'd like to thank you for having me. I'm going to keep it short, I wrote down a couple things that I just want to say.
You know what, I think we can hear you if you step back just a little bit.
Can I speak now?
No, that's great.
Okay, I am a immigrant. She worked 45 years for a company in Los Angeles, a tortilla company. She had two or three children, and 3 of them are sheriffs now. And now my cousins are sheriffs. So a lot of illegals, they say that they're also here to do a job. There's millions of stories that are not heard by the law-abiding illegal agents, and I'm here for them to speak to all you, to tell you that they're here too, and their voices are not as open and as spoke out as these people because they're not, I don't know, they live in fear, Also, with ICE, they've been proven to not work under or operate under the federal law. They've been proven that they do other things. They put on other jackets, sheriff department jackets, that they're not proven that they're sheriffs. Also, just another tactic of racial profiling. That's what I don't want in our community. I live very close. I live in Hacienda Heights. My sons, I have a 20 corrupt and anything else. That's my opinion. Thank you guys for having me after tonight.
Thanks for Greg Allen, followed by Robert Law, followed by Bond.
Hello, my name is Greg Allen. First of all, I trust my sheriffs, I trust the police, and I trust their management and their leaders, and I trust the teachings that we make them go through to become qualified officers, whether they're sheriffs or police. I have a couple of concerns for illegal, undocumented criminals in my jail system. I want to know if we're keeping track after we let them loose because of the new bail system where they get to go loose without costing any money. How many are coming back for their court and then they don't show? I'd like you to keep track of that. Anyway, also, I think an illegal alien who's undocumented shouldn't have any position on any boards or commissions. We have a new law, SB 174, that allows illegal aliens on boards or commissions. I think this is outrageous. I want the Sheriff's Department to go further. If they, I want them to adopt a philosophy. If they see something wrong, that they act on it and report it. I want you to report things to ICE if you see something wrong. You pull somebody over, You have suspicions. If you have a suspicion, that's what we got you there to do. You're our first line of defense. You are our protection. We want you to protect us. I want you to be aware that Pomona has graduated to the second most violent city in the state. That happened on your watch, gentlemen. That happened on your watch. Now I want these people in Pomona to be picked up and kicked out of my country that are committing criminal crimes. And I want you guys to be more aggressive in when you stop somebody and you talk to them about status. If they can't prove status, I think you guys see something, you maybe need to move it up to the ICE department, give them a call. I want all the sheriff's phones to have ICE on speed dial. So when they run into somebody that they are wondering how they got here or how they can talk to them, they need to call an interpreter. And if they admit that they're here illegally, gentlemen, make that speed dial call for us and protect us, because that's the main thing you're supposed to do here, is protect the citizens in this state. The way you're not protecting the citizens in this state is when you have Pomona scoop up to the second most dangerous city in our state. Now, how come all you guys gotta stop that? I want to see that trend go back down, all right? Still, you know,
Excuse me, I want to, I'll let you finish, but I want to just raise an issue that, or speak to an issue that you raised about the new bail law. The change in the bail law that goes into effect a year from now. There may be changes to it between now and then.
There should be.
The county is trying to figure out how it is going to go about and administer the new bail law. Bail is an issue that, one of the many issues that the commission is looking at. So I think your question to the Sheriff's Department on the new bail law is probably a little premature.
Okay.
But when we, I know you regularly go to our commission meetings,
Yes.
and it's something you can
Yes,
address.
let me address something that isn't overdue. That's the decision made by the 5-member team of the ad hoc committee, immigration ad hoc committee, on whether or not we're going to implement SB 54 recommendations made by Mr. Hernan on your commission, on the ad hoc committee. And I think that should be kicked to the curb. I think that you should send a letter, which I've been asking you to do, Ms. Leo Rubin. Welcome to the group, Mr. Tolentino. I appreciate you being on board, but we need a judgment here, because I've asked Mr. Robert Bonner for months now to get on board with saying SB 54 is trash, that it's unsafe for citizens. And if you go back and need a video of the recommendations, I have it for you, sir. It's under a link, We the People, and I can send it to you. You had 6 recommendations that we do, and that's starting with getting ICE out of our jails and not talking to people, and I don't want that to happen. And Ms. Leo, I just am asking you again that if you guys can kind of get together and send a letter that finds SB 54 unsafe for citizens. And Mr. Tolentino, I'd appreciate it if I could get you as a judge to weigh in on that as well. Since we've had 50 cities already say SB 54 should be kicked to the curb because it's unsafe. And one of the main things you're trying to do here is keep me, the citizen, safe. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Robert Lawton.
Yes.
Followed by Von Beck, followed by Drew Bryan, or Guyan, I believe it is.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion here. This is body back, second back.
Gotcha.
Okay, every community wants immigration and customs enforcement into jails to deport the illegal aliens that committed a serious crime after they served their sentence and are still in custody. It's easier and safer to apprehend somebody for the ICE agent to them when they are still in custody. Well, when the ICE agents have to go into the community or workplace, then everyone gets swept up in the ICE raid. including legal aliens that committed no crime. You know, they get swept up and they get deported. And so actually the group that is most interested in separating families is the open border group. The globalists, you can recognize the globalists by their signs. One of the signs is no borders, no nation, no deportation, no ICE, ICE out of LA. Another globalist slogan is no borders, no wall, no USA at all. So I'm in favor of ICE in the jails. Thank you.
Bond Deck, followed by Rue.
I'd like to call my name now, it wasn't before.
Hold on.
We're supposed to keep order here?
Hold on.
I know.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Nawi, you called my name.
Your name is what?
Nawi. Robert.
Gotcha, go ahead.
Anyways, is there anybody here representing the indigenous community? For our communities, can you please let me finish? I was trying. We'll get out. Try harder.
You know what, let's have some order here, please.
Well, you let him cut ahead, so it's kind of hard to say that.
Keep on interrupting.
Go ahead.
On everything. This guy spent like 5 minutes talking. You said 2 minutes. So which is it going to be, 2 minutes or 5 minutes? So
I said we're not limiting it.
well, okay, well.
So go ahead.
Again, premises, you're going to be in the wrong side of history. Thank you very much, and no ICE working, or no sheriffs working with ICE at LA County. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next speaker.
Yeah, a minute ago, you said you want to keep order. Well, you didn't do that. I was supposed to before.
All right, let's
You
go
got
ahead.
that right? Thank you.
You have the.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Right here is a photo, if you will, of a police officer that was shot and killed in an illegal alien. Okay? The opponents of ICE and their ill claim ICE and Sheriff McDonnell, harm the immigrant communities. Not so. Well, they're illegal alien communities. Secondly, what about the harmful impact the legal citizens have endured because of their presence in our American communities? You do the crime, you do the time, period. And I'm totally in support of ICE and Sheriff McDonnell. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Rue Guy, followed by Patricia Schnell, followed by Arthur Shopper.
You got it right. Nice job.
I support ICE, the sheriff stations, and the jails. The statistics are really hard to pull up. You do not know if that's on purpose or they're just compiling them. It takes so long to do. But we should all take the emotion out of this and apply just logic to the situation. We want ICE in our jails because sanctuary cities, which are very prevalent in LA County, have hampered law enforcement in cracking down on crimes. There is no doubt about that. Crimes have also increased in jails.
Thank you.
Arthur Shopper, followed by Sylvia Youngblood, followed by Anthony Rose.
So I want to follow your advice, not speak too close to the mic. How am I doing? Good. I am a resident, I'm a citizen of Torrance, California, and I'm glad to be able to speak on behalf of that. I am a part of Los Angeles County. You might imagine I get asked that question, are you from this city, are you from here? I'm a part of this county, and that's what matters, as do many other members here of We the People Rising, the Remembrance Project. We are from LA County, and what can I say? The first thing that alarms me is that I heard from Alex Villanueva that there is a shortage of 1,500 sheriff's deputies. And I can tell you it has to do with low morale, and a big part of that, I believe, is that you are not allowed to work with your federal partners, specifically ICE. I have talked to many people who are interested in working in law enforcement, and they don't want to work for the sheriff's department, in part because they don't want to go to the jails. And one reason I can tell you is that ICE has seen their interaction with this county's law enforcement limited considerably because of SB 54. And now we have agents that are rogue, to say the least, that want to block all interaction entirely with our federal partners. Okay? We are a federal system, a republic. It's about partnership. It's not about lording it over or ordering, the feds are ordering you to do something. But there are federal laws which do require our men and women in uniform to communicate with our federal partners. The Department of Justice, you mentioned we should complain to them, but now we've got a bill or a law, it's a law now that is blocking that communication. That is wrong. So what I say right now, I think the Civilian Commission should initiate an amicus brief or a stay of compliance that the County Board of Supervisors should make very clear to the rest of the public whom they work for. I don't even like that word supervisor. They're not my boss. We're their boss. I like the term representative, or maybe it should be Board of Commissioners. Just like your commissioners, you present yourselves as servants. The Board of Representatives, they should be representing us, protecting our rights. And that's not happening, especially when you have one candidate for sheriff he's campaigning on a platform of getting ICE out of the jails. That is wrong. Okay? ICE deals with human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, transnational gangs, international theft and fraud. ICE went after the bicycle casino in Bell Gardens. That, to my knowledge, had nothing to do with immigration. I don't want that stopped. I want those criminals, those transnational gangs, those international cartels, I want them curtailed and stopped. I expect ICE to stay in the LA County jails. I want to see LA County be a leader. We're the largest county in this state. We should have the most heft. Don't you think? 10 million people.
Yeah.
Not San Francisco, and not a couple of U.S. senators who seem more interested in pursuing the peccadillos of some judicial nominee. Okay, we should be the vanguard. What I want to see you initiate as sheriffs and as a commission, we're not going to comply with SB 54 because it is not in compliance with our United States Constitution. You can initiate that. Oversight for the sheriff? Absolutely. And that should include ICE should stay in our jails. I want you to reinstate the 287G program. I want to go back again. 1,500 people. We have a hole of 1,500 sheriff's deputies. I mean, are we surprised here? Illegals commit crimes. They're turned back into our streets to commit more crimes. In Orange County, they've reported Sheriff Sarah Hutchin had to release people who had committed sex with a minor, child cruelty, domestic violence. They are multiple offenders. And if I'm a sheriff's deputy and I arrest somebody and then a week later they're back on the streets, you know what? I get demoralized. And I've heard it from a lot of police. Do we really expect them to try to stem the tide of this criminal, illegal alien invasion when at the same time we have state leaders saying, come on in? That is wrong. And we need to take a stand on this. You can be the wall to stop this. If Trump isn't going to build the wall, you build the wall. And I'm talking in a moral sense. We're not going to comply with SB 54. One last thing, because we are in the whole 1,500 sheriff's deputies, so when seconds count, deputies are a few minutes away. They're not gods on earth. We shouldn't expect them to teleport every time there's a crime. As a citizen, I have rights, including the Second Amendment. And I want to see this commission recommend one of two county statutes. Number one, shall issue for CCW. Not may issue, not I'll think about it, not if you're a friend of Sheriff McDonnell, not if you're a friend of Paul Tanaka, not if you're a friend of Alex Villanueva. If you want a CCW, you get the CCW as long as you comply with common law requirements. Although I would even prefer go a step further. What Arizona does, what New Hampshire does, what Vermont, where Bernie Sanders is from, what he does, they have constitutional carry. Where I can have a firearm because I'm a citizen and I don't need a permit. I want to see that proposal. Why don't we help our sheriff's deputies out? They can't respond to every crime. But if a robber has a gun and I have a gun, I can make sure he doesn't make it. I'm sure if a citizen had a firearm, that those deputies would not be in a hospital today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Suya Youngblood, followed by Anthony Robles, followed by Vinny McCoffey.
Hi. That's fun. Okay.
I'm actually not here to talk about the many benefits that immigration lend to our society. My name is Patricia Snell. I'm a civil rights attorney at Council on American Islamic Relations. And I'm just here to bring up CVE, countering violent extremism. Recently, as I'm sure you guys all know, recently the mayor's office had decided to turn down a rather substantial CVE grant. We do know that the LA Sheriff's Office had been working and been on several committees that supported CVE and supported accepting the grants. So I'm just wondering, and I wanted to voice concerns about whether the Sheriff's Office was still involved in any CVE programs, and if so, state their general harm to Muslim communities, but also communities that are other marginalized communities, like the Black and Latino communities. Yeah.
Excuse me, while you're, I don't know if there's anybody from the Sheriff's Department who can address that issue. Sorry, that's out of order. Okay, I didn't think so, but I thought I'd ask. Thank you. Welcome, Commander Campbell.
I'm sorry, yes, I'll introduce myself for being late.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, well, be that as it may, then maybe you can take the concerns I'm expressing back to the people who are in the know. And just because the mayor's office has renounced the CDE funding doesn't mean that there isn't still CDE.
They lost the money because of sanctuary state.
And this type of surveillance of certain already marginalized communities is only increasing the stigmatization, and can be really very harmful. So I think that it's something that the sheriff's office needs to look in depth to make sure there is no more resources going from the sheriff's office in terms of personnel or other weapons, other resources towards CVE efforts, and if there is, disclose it to the public and try to eradicate any type of complicity in these programs.
If you would,
Did you say CDE?
CVE,
CVE,
countering
what does that
violent
stand for?
extremism.
One more time.
Countering violent extremism. It's a program of surveillance, mostly targeted at the Muslim community, but also communities of color. And the LA Sheriff's County sits on the Operational Development Committee for CPE, for countering violent extremism.
okay, thank you for asking for that. I was going to also mention we have members of the commission staff sitting over here at the table. You might give them the same information.
Okay,
And
thank
we
you.
can follow up on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Devin.
I feel marginalized
Followed by
as a citizen.
Dean Cotta, followed by Rena Spitz,
How Villanueva treated us?
Anthony Robles.
Anthony Robles.
I was Sylvia Youngblood.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sylvia, go ahead.
Sorry. You know, I came here to speak on something completely different. but
Go ahead.
I just can't help myself with all these great Americans. Make America great again, pass on to speak on what they were kind of.
This is Make California Great Again.
Oh, it's California, okay. First off, I just want to say that we are not all immigrants. We did not all come from somewhere else. I am an indigenous citizen of this country. My ancestors have been here for thousands of years. And it's a little insulting when a lot of the times the descendants of the first invaders, I hear this word invaders, when the descendants of the first invaders are upset because others want to come here too. When my people were invaded upon and genocide committed against them, then to have people fighting over something that doesn't even belong to you in the first place is laughable. The administrative law judge, if you make a ruling on something that is non-compliant or found not to be correct, you've done after that comes into question. That would be the same thing as America. This land was taken.
No, it
It was
wasn't.
stolen. So what does that say about everything that comes after that? So it's really, I mean, it's sad to see this going on. That if, as a Native American Indian, someone who is a mission Indian, and my tribe was dismantled and put in missions, we built the missions. And we don't even know our native tongue. You know, we have no, we're not recognized by the federal government because our lineage was cut in the 1700s. I mean, it's just, it's insulting. we were assimilated to the point to where we don't even know who we are. And that's pretty much the culture of America. It's a European culture, and that we all have to assimilate into. It's coming to the point where we don't even have respect for one another. I mean, California, Los Angeles was all part of Mexico before, but yet you have, going back to the Zoot Suit riots, when servicemen were coming and attacking Mexican men on the street, Chavez Ravine, we all go to Dodger Stadium, but that was a thriving Mexican community where those Mexican families were taken out of their homes. And the land basically stolen, which is now Dodger Stadium, and we all go there and we patron it all the time, but we have no idea what was done to Mexican families in order for that to exist. I'm an advocate for individuals with special needs, and I also serve on a number of communities. One is Department of Mental Health for Los Angeles County. When we talk about our prison systems and the individuals in it, all of those individuals were failed at some point in time in their life by not being identified. I'm not making them victims, but I'm saying that it starts when these individuals are young and they're in school, and that's kind of like my original reason why I came in the first place. Was that these kids need to be identified, these adults need to be identified if they have disabilities. But going back now, kids in schools need to be identified as well, so that way we don't have as many people in the prison systems, because prisons are based on the number of kids that are in special education. Our schools are not identifying kids. They're not wanting to spend the money on the resources and services and supports that they need. So we have kids going through school not getting to the mental health services they need, so they're not able to be viable, productive citizens when they leave the school system. The transition services need to be strengthened so that we can fix the problem. We're talking about what's happening going on up here, but we're not looking at the root of all of the problems that are existing now, not only as a community, but in all the agencies working together as a whole.
Thank you. Two things before you say that. One is that I don't know if you were here when the meeting started, but there are two council members from South El Monte City Council who are here, seated directly behind you. They can identify themselves to you. They may want to get some information. And there is also in the back of the room, Justice Deputy for Supervisor Solis. She's got her hand up, who, that this is Supervisor Solis's district, and they can be very helpful to you. So I suggest you reach out to them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Anthony Robles, followed by Nina Natasha, followed by Reina Schmitz. We bought this land.
Hi, my name is Anthony Robles. I'm with the Youth Justice Coalition. We're a youth-led, formerly incarcerated-led, system-impacted-led organization that tries to dismantle the mass incarceration and criminalization of Black and brown people, especially youth. And I just want to point out that it's very interesting. It's like witnessing America in one room. It's like a bunch of pilgrims pleading with their hardened law enforcement to defend them from the scary Black man and the scary brown man and the scary Chinese man and the super predator and the thug and the bandit and the savage and the heathen and the gangster and the bad hombre. It's been like this since 1492, and it's interesting to see that it's still happening in 2018, and it's exciting and it's fun. But it's not fun for a lot of us because a lot of people are suffering because of state violence. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, which was, as you know, was instituted in 1850, right after the Greenville War. It's called the Mexican-American War, the American War of Aggression, which America invaded Mexico and took the land. The LA Sheriff's Department was developed in, yes. What was I saying? The Sheriff's Department was developed in 1850 and this was right during the gold rush. This was during the time where white Anglo-American settlers were coming into California and trying to remove the people that were already here, natives and Mexicans, Mexican colonists.
This is a narrative we have.
So the Sheriff's Department was on the front lines in Los Angeles County and exterminating 90% of the native population here. Also the dispossession of Mexicans who used to own this land. And also started the war on immigration. The war on immigration that we're seeing today against mostly Mexicans and Central Americans started against the Chinese. And it started in 1871 with the Chinese massacre, which was the largest public lynching in American history right there in downtown. And that's why Chinatown in downtown looks like it's from a movie set, because it is a movie set. The original Chinatown was burned down to the ground by angry white people that were angry at the Chinese. So anyway, so now that's what we're dealing with today. And at the time, California also had the highest lynching rates in the country. And now today, California leads the nation in police killings. In 2016, 157 people were shot and killed by police in California. Last year, 2017, it went up to 172 people were killed. In Los Angeles County alone, from 2000 to 2017, 851 people were killed by law enforcement, the most in the nation by far. 305 were killed by the Sheriff's Department, and not one deputy or officer from the other 851 was prosecuted or even brought charges against, nothing. So the Sheriff's Department and law enforcement in general can kill with impunity in California, and the Sheriff's Department is always second behind in the nation, behind LAPD in total amounts of killings. And the thing about the sheriffs being down 150 or 1,500 personnel, while the sheriff's budget has increased by $1 billion in the last 10 years. So where's that money going? This is the time during historic crime lows in Los Angeles. Los Angeles County and Los Angeles is experiencing historic violent crime lows. Also, we were in a recession. We just came out of a recession. How would law enforcement $1 billion added to their budgets when we need mental health services, we need housing, gentrification, or settler colonialism is in high gear right now. People are moving out of LA into the San Gabriel Valley and beyond, into the IT and into Lancaster. So what we're seeing is just a continuation of what happened, was started here in LA in 1848. It's white people driving out people of color. So with that,
Racist.
Huh?
That's racist. Sir, please.
It is racist. It is.
Racist statement.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it true?
Racist.
But, anyways,
Sir, you're a racist.
Thank you.
Who are you?
I'm sorry.
But you're proud of it? Okay.
There is no point in.
I know, I'm engaging. I should stop engaging.
All right,
Sorry.
you have a couple minutes.
Okay, sorry. What was that? So we just urged that the Civilian Oversight Commission adopt the Family Bill of Rights that YJC and families, surviving family members of people who were killed by law enforcement, they drafted up a Bill of Rights for that they want to see law enforcement adhere to when their loved ones are killed.
That's going to be on our agenda next week.
Okay, cool. So I think it's our draft that is being heard. So we just, because I'm the COC, but I see other people on the sheriffs are on it, the deputies on it. So we urge that the Sheriff's Department adopt the Family Bill of Rights, and also that we would like to see whoever the next sheriff is, whether it's McDonnell or Villanueva, we want to see a decrease in law enforcement presence in our communities. So with that, we want to see a divestment of 5% from the Sheriff's Department and redirect that money into mental health services, housing, and youth development across the county. Right now, the county is working on a youth diversion and development program. That could be the office that holds the youth development infrastructure, the central infrastructure across the county. And that way, if we take a developmental approach as opposed to a preventative approach that pathologizes youth of color, I think we could really solve all the problems that everyone here is trying to solve. So thank you for your
Thank you.
Thank you for this. Followed by Rand Schmidt, followed by Robinson.
Good evening. I don't know if I'm here at the right place at the right time.
You're here.
My issue is just talking about a illegal drug place that has been started in South San Gabriel, and they haven't closed it down.
Okay, this is the place to talk about it.
Well, after hearing all this,
No.
I'm beginning to wonder. I'm in a war zone.
All right, go ahead.
But that was my issue. It's 1626 and 1630 Patrol Granby, and it's been open, and it's illegal. I know marijuana is legal, but the place is illegal. And so I would like to see it closed. There's two day school and grade school close by.
Have you talked to the Sheriff's Department about that?
We've had them at a neighborhood meetings, and they say they don't have enough enforcement. They said they raided it one time, but I don't know. It's still
So
there
crime is
for
up,
me.
not down.
Okay,
That's the
again,
point.
there are
Jeez.
members of the sheriff's department here. No, I'm not saying that, but there also are, as I mentioned, the previous speaker, members of the South El Monte City Council who were here, and the Justice Deputy for.
I'm in South San Gabriel.
Okay, but Justice Deputy for Supervisor Solis is here as well.
Right, and they've been.
The staffer.
And also, if there are people, additional information you can provide to our staff who are manning the table over there, that would be helpful.
I get, you gotta keep calling.
That's okay, you keep calling.
No, they tell me, you keep calling. I'm like, who wants to keep calling all the time?
We want it done.
They know the issue.
All right, why don't you talk to one of our staff people over at the table?
But they always tell me they're shorthanded.
Well.
Oh.
See if they can help. Write a letter.
Yeah, write a letter.
Thank you.
Write a letter. Give us a call.
Brandon Smith, followed by Evelyn.
What did she say?
Followed by Ian Burke Jameson.
Robin, what was it? What did she say?
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. It is very sad to see so much hate in one room. And I have lived in this community for over 33 years on the 1st District. Proud member and resident of Valinda. And recently our supervisor Solis donated $1 million to have us, the neighborhood, to have trees. And some of the sheriff members of our community actually help us to plant those trees. So I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. In the mornings when I get up, it's very comfortable to see a sheriff car come by. And they salute, they say good morning. So I really appreciate that. It makes me feel safe. However, as long as I have lived here, in the last 2 months and a half, we had 2 lockdowns. We were not allowed to come into our home, or we were not allowed to leave our home until 2 o'clock in the morning. And I know that they're very busy, and I know there's a lot of urgency, things happening, but I really want you to please keep an eye on our community. And if there are areas that you are aware that there is drugs or there is any kind of negative impacts to our community, we have children and we have grandchildren, and we want them to grow in a healthy environment like the one we had for the last 33 years. So I'm here to, first of all, thank you for allowing me to speak, and the second one is to appreciate the fact that as a commissioner, and I'm sure that the health and safety of the community matters to you, and I hope you continue doing the right thing by providing the services. And yes, thank you for the history that I'm learning about today. But we have, again, a lot of hate in this room that doesn't belong here. I don't think the job of the commissioners are to abolish or create or go in and get rid of a state law. Keep the way it is, keep ICE out of our jails, and keep us safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Followed by Ian Burke Jameson, followed by Yolanda Alvarado.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to address you. Before I get started, I would like to say thank you to each and every one of our law enforcement, our ICE officers, and everyone who protects our country. We really appreciate it. I'm going to go into a little bit of history and background with my personal story so that you guys will understand. There's no racism here. I was born in Los Angeles, California. Born to a dad who worked at Continental Airlines, a mom who was a housekeeper. My family background is that I'm descendants of slaves. We've been here since the 1850s, and I can trace it back to that. We did our family tree. Prior to that, we don't know. We know that we originated from Africa, but we've never been there. Okay, that's the first thing. The other thing I want you to know is that I grew up in Pasadena area, and many of my best friends were Latino. Okay, there's a huge population, but they were Chicanos, and they loved blacks. There was no problem. The reason I say this to you, and the reason why it's so important right now, is because I left to go to Texas and came back and was being harassed by illegal immigrants, not Chicanos, Mexicans. They were following me, they were looking at me like, what are you doing in Pasadena? That's how much that border had opened up. What I want to say to you is that we have been forgotten, Blacks and Africans, African Americans. And the reason why I can tell you that is because I called the EEOC. There was a paragraph for Latinos, there was a paragraph for Asians, nothing for Blacks. And I just about hit the roof. And I told them, if you do not put anything back on that EEOC and put the Blacks back on, which this 14th Amendment was founded on, I am going to hit the ceiling. What I want to say is everyone has a right to be here. You do, but you need to come legally.
That's right.
Fourth grade, I pledged allegiance to the flag.
That's right.
Okay, I'm dedicated to this country. That does not mean I'm bad with Asia, I'm not bad with Mexico, nothing. I'm saying come here legally. I respect the laws as a tiny kid. They should too.
Yeah.
They should not have a separate rules for illegals.
That's
no,
right.
you want to stay in America, you come here, you work like we do.
That's
you don't
right.
come here and get a free ride. Guess who's paying the taxes? I am.
Yep.
It took me 3 hours for my job to get here, to come and stand up, because this is important to me. I'm in my own country and being harassed by people that shouldn't even be here. Why? Because of the color of my skin.
Oh.
They don't know I got baptized in a Mexican church, Our Lady of Guadalupe in Pasadena. They don't know that my sister husband is Mexican and her kids are biracial. They're looking at me like, no, you a Negro. You shouldn't be here. This is wrong. You come here legally. And I want to say, I want ICE to be here to protect us. Not protect me, Mexicans, whites, Latinos,
That's
everybody.
right.
I don't care where you come from. And this is the way that you guys need to understand. We are here being protected by the law enforcement. They love us. They want to protect citizens. And if you are here illegally, you're causing illegally, and you're causing detriment and deadness to people that are American citizens. It's wrong. You have to do this right. That's all I want to say. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless our Commander-in-Chief Trump, because he's doing a good job.
Yeah! All right! Thank you. All right. That's it.
Go ahead.
Followed by Yolanda Alvarado.
Yeah, he's a white supremacist.
All right, I'll keep this brief. ICE has separated thousands of children from their parent at the U.S. border, a practice which the United Nations has ruled is illegal under international law. ICE officers have sexually assaulted countless immigrants in detention centers. It's absolutely true.
He keeps on interrupting.
No, just.
Sit down.
Immigrant children have been and continue to be kept in cages like animals. If we're talking about murder, ICE officers...
Excuse me just a minute. For those in the audience who are feeling the need to respond to the speaker, you have had your opportunity. He cannot say what he has a right to say. We can all have a discussion afterwards, but it is not fair to interrupt the speaker, so please proceed.
Thank you. ICE Officer Juan David Ortiz has just in the past few days been arrested for killing 4 people. He's being described in the media as a serial killer. ICE is a rogue federal agency perpetrating racial terrorism all across the U.S. INS and Border Patrol already do a competent job of regulating immigration and did so prior to ICE's creation in 2002. The agency is only 16 years old and is completely unnecessary and a menace to international law. We don't need LA County Sheriff's Department collaborating with ICE. We demand they stop. I did want to address one other issue unrelated to ICE. Quite a few LAPD and LA County Sheriff's officers currently sport Linwood Vikings tattoos. For those of you who don't know, the Linwood Vikings are a decades-old white supremacist organization headquartered in Linwood, California. Some members of the law enforcement community have claimed that those tattoos are protected by the First Amendment. They are not. The Supreme Court has been unequivocal in saying that speech in the workplace is not protected by the First Amendment. I do not want to see one goddamn sheriff's deputy sporting a white supremacist tattoo with my goddamn tax dollars. Thank you.
Thank you.
But you have no problem with illegals living off the dole.
Marvin Alvarado, followed by Melissa Mitchelson, followed by Todd Jones.
Okay, I'm here on a totally different issue.
Good.
Okay,
Yay.
totally different issue. It's in regards to the sheriff's department. I've had personally, within my household, the sheriff's department's been called out. I would like to see the sheriff's department, when they come to my house, to see everybody separate, to not take sides right away, to not side with my brother, to not side this way, because I've been going through this experience with the sheriff's department, and when they come out, they automatically side with my brother because he's a good goddamn liar.
Oh.
And they leave me out to do nothing. Like I'm the victim. I'm calling you guys. I'm calling the sheriff's department. I'm calling, but yet my brother's the one that gets turned on me, and I'm the bad guy, and I'm the one that needs to leave my house. When I'm the one calling, I'm the one that needs the help, and you guys believe my brother over me. That's what's really disturbing me. It's really, when you go to a call, make it even. Make it even because you know, oh, is that coach over there? You know him? Well, put that aside. This is a different call. This is something differently that when they do come, they come, if they know somebody, automatically, they know somebody. So just come with an open, clear mind and don't judge people right away. Thank you.
Would you talk to one of our staff people and give them that information? Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa Mitchelson,
Yes, thank you.
followed by Todd Jones.
Hi, I live in the San Gabriel Valley. A couple months ago, we had the same issue with having ICE collaborating with the Sheriff's Department in San Gabriel. Pasadena didn't go ahead and go with that route. I do not want to see this continued. I do not want to keep having to come out. And it's just amazing to me that in the time period that we're living in right now, that we have to deal with ICE tearing our communities apart, tearing people's families apart. I don't think many people of you, I don't think a lot of you here actually have the first notion of what it feels like to have your son or daughter or you yourself have to be deported. I wonder, and I'd love to ask each and every one of you to consider that and imagine that situation, and perhaps you would look deeper into your hearts. In any case, in Pasadena, they're not doing this. In in San Gabriel, they're not doing this. I do not want, again, my tax dollars going towards funding sheriffs and having sheriffs work with ICE. I am a teacher. I teach students, foreign students, actually. I teach ESL. And my students are here legally, but they are afraid. They are afraid of what they see happening to their friends. And I do not want ICE, again, I do not want ICE in our area at all. Thank you very much.
I don't live in fear because I'm not illegal. Well, simple.
Hi, my name is Todd Jones. I've been a resident in the San Gabriel Valley, Pasadena area for about 40 years, and I'm a scientist at Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I wanted to share an observation with everybody here, especially the law enforcement, and that is that when the community feels comfortable interacting with the police, the law enforcement, the law enforcement then has a better chance of recognizing when there is crimes afoot and who are criminals. So it's very important to have that level of comfort with the full community, and you don't want to have people who feel they need to hide from the police or have to run away when they see the police. There has to be a level of comfort in interacting with the police, and this is the observation I'd like to share with you, and recognize that it helps with law enforcement to have that good rapport between law enforcement and people, and that unfortunately that gets shattered when the people have to worry about somebody tagging them and then deporting them. And so it results in a sort of a black hole or a black shadowy area where people hide and people get crimes committed against them because the perpetrator knows that that person, that victim, will not go to the police. And it creates a whole environment of distrust and intense criminality, which affects the whole community. And this is why interaction between local law enforcement and the ICE agency is detrimental to law enforcement here.
Thank you very much.
Boo! Lie. Total lie. That's very offensive.
I'd like to address the individuals from the Sheriff's Department on a couple of issues, if I could. Oh, okay. Well, we'll be on hold for the last two speakers. I'm sorry.
Good evening. I wanted to comment on the issue regarding use of force and just overall. I found out about this meeting short notice, so excuse my unpreparedness. However, I would like to comment on what I think about my local law enforcement. I'm an area resident of Whittier, Southside unincorporated area for nearly 20 years. And I think it's come to a place where I feel very unfortunate that we are patrolled by the Norwalk Sheriff Station. And I just really wish that somehow Whittier PD could take over Whittier, or like there wouldn't be unincorporated, but including even other sheriffs. I don't know, and like maybe industry, for example, most recently, I had a situation where I followed and obeyed commands and my life was threatened. I think a lot of times with sheriff's deputies, whatever their training is, and before they get out in the field and finish academy, and I think however much time goes by on the force or the department, tends to sometimes with certain individual deputies, whatever their ranking may be forgotten. I think the mission statement is usually not adhered to. I don't think there's a lot of regard for the mission statement, and that needs to get back into play. Every single deputy throughout the whole entire department, from deputy to whatever ranking. And those are the most concerns that I have. I was really terrified. You know, I'm not here. I can't comment on immigration today. I'm not here for that issue. You know, have federal law enforcement and my family in law enforcement. I respect law enforcement, and I think it's terrifying when a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy doesn't feel accountability. Or if you want to make a report against a deputy for threatening your life unlawfully and unjustifiably when you have obeyed their commands, it's terrifying, because it's happening more and more all throughout the United States of America, where unarmed individuals are being fired down on by law enforcement. And their lives are being taken away, and I value my life. And people love me and value my life, family, you know. And I'm also a mother, and I don't want to be threatened in that way by a uniformed deputy with deadly force if I'm cooperating.
If you have some specifics as to the incident you're talking about, again, we have staff people in the back of the room. If you give them some information, perhaps we could follow up. I mean, you're obviously talking about issues you feel deeply about, and we'd like to try and help you.
I'm just gonna ask everyone for their forgiveness, and I don't mind exiting at this time if need be. And I'm just gonna go rogue and say, while everyone's in here, we need to be thinking about how many children have been murdered under the current board of supervisors needs to be replaced. DCFS has got to be dismantled and restructured. If we're going to fight for issues that are very important to everyone in this room, let's go for the defenseless. And let's get on those issues and have something set up to replace the board and replace executives in the Los Angeles County Department of Failure to Protectors. I don't know how much the public knows about. It's not a one-time thing, it's a too many. One child life loss is too many, and it's reoccurring, and it's systemic, and it needs to change quick, fast, in a hurry, and yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. I'm all about that.
Okay, so I'll go back to the Sheriff's Department. There are a number of specific and generalized issues that have been raised, but I think one recurring theme, and perhaps somebody can speak to that, is the either accurate perception or not of an increase of crime in LA County. Is perhaps Commander Marhung from the jail.
Department of Children
might have
Protective
that
Services does
information.
not protect children. They're dying
there-
in LA County.
Is there a view in the Sheriff's Department that there is an increase in crime in LA County?
I'll let the patrol, sorry.
Okay,
Well, I can only comment on the crime in the South Patrol Division.
okay.
And we are, 2018, we are having a splendid year. We are down 21% in Part 1 crimes. And Part 1 crimes are the serious crimes of murder, rape, burglary, robbery, assault, theft. So we are having a year that we can be very proud of. It's not something that certainly that we don't do alone. And we like to think that the partnership that we have with folks like yourselves who care about the community, the people that we work with, the folks on the board, as a team, like the sheriff likes to say many times, is that law enforcement's a team effort. And as a result, we are very proud of the numbers so far in 2018. Our gang-related crime is down throughout the county, and at least in South Patrol Division, the crime is down. And I'll let my colleague Commander Jacob speak about East Patrol Division.
Excuse me, before I let you go on that subject, if you would let members of the community know what the South.
Yeah, okay, I mentioned earlier, I will go, so we represent 14 cities and 6 patrol stations, along with the unincorporated areas of Lomita, Norwalk Station, Carson Station, Lakewood Station, Cerrito Station, and Pico Rivera Station. So all those areas in the cities, the contract cities that we work with, and also the unincorporated areas in those jurisdictions is the area that we patrol in South Patrol Division.
Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, let me, I'm Corone Jacob, I'm a commander from East Patrol Division, and I apologize for my tardiness, however, I wasn't aware I was on the panel, so I apologize for that. East Patrol covers everything from La Cañada, Flint Ridge, Altadena, Temple Stations area, which we're in now, San Dimas, Walnut, Diamond Bar, and the City of Industry and the surrounding unincorporated areas. Because I didn't know I was on the panel, I did not bring the exact crime stats. However, I know Captain Flores from Temple Station does have his stats for this area, so I'll defer to him. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Dave Flores. So I heard yesterday the sheriff speak about Part 1 crime, which are the violent crimes that Commander Wolak spoke about, are down in LA County. I can speak for Temple Station. We're down a violent crime about 7.5% calendar year from July 31st, 2018 back to July 31st of January 1st of 2017. So we are down violent crime.
Good, thank you.
Is there any place where we can find those stats online?
Yes.
That should be on the sheriff's website.
Okay, LASD.org.
LASD.org.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
LASD.org.
a good question. The other thing, and then I'll ask my fellow commissioners if they have anything that they want to add, but for those of you who have not regularly come to our commission meetings, we generally meet the fourth Thursday of every month downtown at the Metropolitan Water District adjacent to Union Station. Our next meeting is a week from tonight, the morning, a week from today, the 27th at 9 o'clock. Everybody, it's open, everybody's welcome. The more people who come and are heard and listen, I think it helps you be educated, and we welcome your input. So that's also on the website for the commission, which is posted at the bottom of the material.
No one's going to be listening. So respect each other, respect each other's points of views, whether they're opposing or not opposing. I've been very glad to sit and listen here today, and I look forward to future town hall meetings.
So do I.
Rob?
I would just echo the comments of both commissioners here. It's been informative, but it's also important to be respectful of each other's views so that they get heard and considered. I think it's much more effective that way. Just my opinion. Thank you.
Brian?
Again, I wanted to thank everyone for coming
We
out.
need enforcement of our
Two quick
laws, though.
things.
That's not open for debate.
If you are here tonight and you didn't want to speak or didn't have your voice heard for whatever reason, staff is around. We'll be here a little bit afterwards. So just come talk to us individually about some concerns that you may or may not have. We'll be happy to hear those, and we'll take those back to the office with us. Also, I think most of you, when you walked in, you received a survey. We'd love for you to fill that out to let us know what you thought about the meeting tonight, whether you felt safe or not. Did you hear your concerns today? So we appreciate that, and thank you all again for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
I have since you're a recent appointee, how did you get the appointment? How do you get an appointment on this commission?
Well, I was, actually, I think I was interviewed by folks from the Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
And I guess my experience and background.
Did they reach out to you?
I think some of the board members already knew what I was talking about.
So they reached out to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like there isn't like an open process for people to file or to apply. Because I think of commissions in that regard. That's why I'm asking.
They do actually. I think I remember like 2 years ago, they did set out a.
I'm sorry. Keeping an eye on my stuff. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
2 years ago, I think when they first.
Gary, keep an eye on my stuff. Can you just keep an eye on it? I'm sorry. I worry.
2 years ago, when this commission began, each supervisor could appoint a commissioner, and then there were 5 other commissioners and 4 other commissioners that were selected from applicants.
Okay.
And you could be selected for one of those applicants. Oh, you're welcome.
So I should put my name in a pool maybe or something?
Yeah, you can. I think you can put it in.
I just feel like my points of view aren't represented adequately here. I mean, I don't see a lot of talk about enhancing law enforcement. I see a lot of an emphasis on the needs of illegals, or the term undocumented keeps being used, which I don't like using that term. I like using the term illegal. And I feel like an emphasis on law enforcement is needed rather than accommodation of, you know.
It's an open mic, and so.
Because you're a new member, do you have a card?
No, I don't.
You're that new.
I'm just that new.
Okay.
Just call the office. And
Okay. Can we schedule meetings with you, like privately, individually?
Sure. Just call the office.
Okay. And last of all, like different supervisors appoint different members.
Yes.
Do you know who? Supervisor Hahn or Representative Hahn appointed? Who?
Janice Hahn?
Who did she appoint though?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I could ask the chairman. Chairman Bonner, which commissioner did Janice Hahn appoint? Janice Hahn, did she appoint one of the commissioners directly?
Yeah, she would have appointed one of them.
Do you know which one? Do you know which one? Because you were appointed by Antonovich.
Oh, good to meet you.
You know what happened?
Excuse me, I wasn't finished. I wanted to ask. Okay, you were appointed by Antonovich, for example. So, is there a way I could find out that information? Who appointed which?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I'd be happy to get it for you. But you should be able to just get it from the staff.
Okay.
There's no secret about it.
No, that's fine. I know.
You know, there are 5 that were appointed. Each supervisor, I'll still call it supervisor, appointed one of them.
You see where I'm coming from. I appreciate that.
The other 4, are selected. It's a very Byzantine process, but ultimately the entire...
I'm hearing about it.
Some people...
Were you selected by a supervisor or by...
The whole board, see, so he's an at-large.
Oh, you're an at-large one?
He's at-large.
Because I'm at large.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You see, like, open border people who don't respect boundaries. You understand?
Well, you haven't even seen it yet. When Maui was championing you and a couple other people, we had a filter on that was making it look like the devil.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I did it to you too.
Oh, please.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, I know. It's silly little stuff. I saw it.
So
they're not very important anymore.
you'll see it on my channel.
Oh, thank you. We live in their heads rent free. I have to make sure I give all the stuff back. I don't think they could get away. So, don't you find it funny he thinks you're a white supremacist?
Did I call you a white supremacist? No, he didn't call me white supremacist. Exactly.
But he holds the sign up.
You don't know. Do you know?
I do know them. I do know them.
Oh, so you say what the white supremacists?
No, they're not white supremacists. They're American. They're American. No, they're not. They're not. It doesn't matter, sweetie.
We're here.
We're here. Everybody's supposed to be here. You're supposed to be legally.
We're here.
No, if you come legally, you are welcome. If you don't come legally, you are not welcome and you're not respected. You need to come here legally. I'm legal. I was born in this state. You're legal. You were born here. You got your citizenship.
He wasn't born here.
He wasn't?
No.
You need to sit back where you came from. You know, you need to have your papers. Why are you here?
Did you hear that? This woman's laying down some truth.
This is propaganda. You know what?
My brother-in-law,
This is
he's from
indigenous
Ecuador.
land.
He's from Ecuador. He's got his papers.
Indigenous
And
land.
so should you.
Indigenous land.
Get your papers.
You're a reporter or a student? Oh, okay. Thanks for coming, Evelyn.
No, baby, nobody can use me. I'm Black American.
Wow.
I deserve to be here.
That sounds kind of
I'm
racist.
Black American. I deserve to be here, and I am legal. A citizen of
Wow,
the
that's
USA.
racist.
I'm about the red, white, and blue. I'm about the red, white, and blue, baby. I'm about the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Red, white. I don't care who the Toba who's slavery. Let's talk about slavery. Where the slaves are. Let's talk about Africa. Those are where my people
I'm giving you space.
Remember that.
You see how violent they are? They get all head up and start getting in people's faces.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I love, listen, we love everybody. I love Latinos, I love whites, I love Asians, but I want to be legal in this country. I fought for it, my people fought for it, and we deserve to be here and not disrespected by people coming to this country and treating me like I'm a third world citizen. I was born here. We have Europeans ready.
I've got so much I could say. I'm trying to be civil. I'm thinking the only thing she's resisting is the diet. I'm sorry. Oh, you like that one? Okay, get a. Hold still. No, why? You were like another call.
Old-fashioned misogyny, fantastic.
Yo, oh, you are. I want you to tell me. Do you guys do birthday parties? Because you look like a clown. Do you do birthday parties? You are hilarious. This one especially. She's really something. You tell ICE where to go. She does a really good job. She reported on ICE. I think it was in El Monte. And they show up in those areas and pick up illegals. Thanks for your efforts. I appreciate that. I love that. Yeah. So, what kind of a clown? Payasa. Tú eres payasa.
What kind of clown are you?
Oh, why are you touching me? Why are you touching me? Why are you touching me? Look, the clown is getting angry. La payasa estaba muy enojada. I know. Why did you push me? You got that right. And they were pushing a mother and a grandmother. I saw that in El Monte. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you. I know you got your car together.
What is it?
I know you got your car situation.
Oh, let me get this. You want me to go off one? Well,
yeah, no, I'm just telling you. I'm gonna send you some things.
Don't touch
No, you pushed it in my face.
Don't touch it. Look at this.
Okay,
Look at this guy.
I know.
This is your hero. Look at that.
You're violent. Are you recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Are you recording? Good. Hi.
So,
take a look at this gentleman.
How much do you got?
Why are you blocking the camera?
How many you got in
I want you to notice how he's blocking the camera. Notice how he's blocking. Oh, this is fine. You're supposed to be an objective journalist. Look at this.
How much?
Now you want him to record.
Yeah, how much?
But he's blocking the camera. I want you to see that.
Answer the question.
Thank you.
Hey, look at that.
Thank you. Why are you violent? Thank you. Bye-bye.
He pushed you.
Uh-huh.
He pushed you.
So, go ahead. Run and tell. You pushed the microphone right in my face. I'm sure it is. Pushing a microphone in my face, harassing women and children. Alberto, why did you cover the camera while you were interviewing me? Oh, this is fun. I gotta see this. Alberto, he can't hear it. You just unplugged it.
Can I introduce myself?
What's your name?
My name is Sorry, I'm a new community information officer with the Civilian Oversight Division.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so how did you hear about the meeting tonight?
Let's see, I heard it from a friend of mine. Oh, no, I think it was advertised on Facebook.
Oh, awesome. That's actually really good for me to hear because I've been doing a lot of different promotions that they haven't been.
Let me give you some space.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, no problem. You got to clear the room. Got it. Okay. Wait, hurry! Aren't you supposed to report a crime or something?
Oh, fuck
That's
off.
right. No. Oh, you wanted to fuck me? That's disgusting. That is sexual harassment. These are my friends. Wait a minute. You're supposed to report a crime. Hurry! Okay. Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Can you hurry? Because you've got that. There was that lard lady who looks like a clown. She's harassed this woman before. Thank you. Because I saw what happened to you, so thank you. Okay, I'll go ahead. Don't worry. Do you have a card?
I actually don't. I'm still I don't. But go to our website.
Say your
and
name.
send me
Just say your
the
name for the record.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Osborne. I'll remember that. Thank you. Bam. It looks like he had a. Hi. So who stole what? Tell me.
Just trying to steal your wallet. No.
Oh, you're a thief? You want to steal my wallet? Wow.
Oh, no, I get your...
That's kind of criminal behavior, isn't it?
Just a lawless.
That guy wanted to steal my wallet. But you said white people. Why do you have a problem with people who don't look like you?
Why are they so racist against white people?
But you said it. You kept going off about white people.
Yeah, you triggered these guys. Dude, they get triggered.
Yeah, we're triggered, aren't we?
You triggered me, yo.
Tell me, who stole what?
You got triggered off words I didn't even say. He said I said all white people. I said white.
But you said the white people. Robert Bonner didn't steal anything.
When you talk, it's funny.
You know, ICE deals with human trafficking, right? You don't want that to happen anymore? I want human trafficking. That's what ICE deals with. ICE deals also with transnational gangs and crimes. I want them to do that. They can't do that if they're not in the jails.
Deals with it? What do you mean they deal with it? They do it?
Yeah, they do. Bell Gardens was raided in early 2017. Okay, I'm gonna head to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Don't leave yet. Okay. Hurry! Report the crime! Hurry! Is that your age or your IQ? Free.
You already used that.
Well, it must be your IQ. This guy said I committed a crime, but he's not recording anything. You need a heifer. And the buttons on it. Braces go home. 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 Oh, where are my parts? Oh, thank you. I need all my signs, but braces go home. 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 What are you doing?
Arthur, get a job!
What are you doing? Job. Arthur, get a 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 job. I think you need a diet.
Congratulations.
You look like you need a diet.
Oh, you need to disrespect a woman? Do you feel good?
There you go. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Well,
Go
wait,
home, get a
I mean,
job, get a
you're like a whole zip code under yourself, honey.
Don't say anything about her neck.
I know, that's fatter than her waist.
Oh, shoot. Is that mine?
There we go. Those are mine. Her home. She lives in a hut or no, she lives in a sty.
She is a house of that size.
She is a pig. La palabra es cochina. Go home, Arthur. Go home, Arthur. Go home, Arthur. Go home. Go home. Go home, Arthur. Go home, Arthur. That's all they've got left. Go home, Arthur. Go home, Arthur. See, I have a home. They don't. I feel sorry for them. Go home, Arthur. Go home, Arthur. Go home, Arthur. Where are you parked?
Down the street.
Oh, so I'll drive you yours. Folks, all right. I can't drive and talk at the same time right now, so I gotta go, folks.